So you want some people to subscribe to your channel, huh? Is that what you were saying? Oh, I thought it was. All right, I'll tell them for you. Hi there. Welcome back, YouTube friends and family. In today's vlog, we're going to talk about one of the tomatoes it's one of my favorite to raise, and that's the Cherokee Purple. Most people really don't know the history of the Cherokee Purple, and I'll give you a little history on it before we get into the 5 reasons that I like growing it. The Cherokee Purple tomato was actually a Tennessee tomato originally. What happened is a guy from East Tennessee was giving the seeds from his neighbor, and he questioned him, "This tomato, where did you get this tomato seed?" And the neighbor explained, "Well, I got it from some friends or neighbors, and they originally got the tomato seed from the Cherokee Indians. Thus, it's called the Cherokee Purple." It's not really a purple tomato, but if you know anything about the naming on tomatoes, a darker tomato quite often is referred to as a purple tomato. So that kind of gives you a little background. It's an heirloom. It's been around since who knows when. Apparently the Cherokee Indians here in East Tennessee have been growing it for some time. And foremost reason that I like growing it is its taste. This tomato has a taste that is it's just real rich. The flesh is a little bit darker colored, and if you know anything about darker tomatoes, they do tend to have a richer, slightly more acidic flavor. A lot of people refer to dark tomatoes as tasting smoky. I guess we're all different. I don't know where that comes from. I just think it has a wonderful flavor. Reason number 2. The reason number 2 that I raised the tomato, I've already gone over. It's the history, the fact that it's a Tennessee tomato, that it's an heirloom from Tennessee. So being the gardener that I am, I want to try everything. I want to try new things. So I started trying this tomato, gosh, it's been several years back. And it quickly became one of our favorites. I can't say that I truly have a favorite tomato because I like just about all tomatoes. There's very few that I don't. And if it's a tomato that I raise every year, you can pretty well say, I really like that tomato because I'm limited on garden space. I can't go out there and plant 100 variety of tomatoes. So I pick the tomatoes that I like and want to. And the third reason I like growing the Cherokee Purple tomato is because it is an heirloom. Heirloom tomatoes are tomatoes that have been passed down from generation to generation. The flavors are typically very good on a heirloom tomato. If it weren't, people would stop saving the seeds. It wouldn't pass from generation to generation. If it was a bad tasting tomato, it would have been culled quite some time ago. The fourth reason I like growing the purple Cherokee tomato is that we've always had good success with this tomato. It's not a hard tomato to grow in the garden. It just needs the same love, care, and attention, watering, fertilizer that you would give any other tomato. It really doesn't take anything special other than what you're doing to your other tomatoes. And that makes it very handy when you're growing several different varieties of tomatoes. It's easy if everything just water everything it wants, fertilize everything it wants. You also need to know that when you're growing tomatoes, tomatoes are known to crack. And one of the main causes for tomatoes cracking is lack of water. If the ground gets dry and you're not keeping it moist under your tomato, then when the next rain hits, it's going to swell quickly. Try to absorb as much water as it can. And it's that swelling of the tomato that typically causes that cracking. All tomatoes need to stay moist. And tomatoes are something that you need to use a drip irrigation on. Tomatoes are very easy to get the blight, and blight typically comes from too much moisture on the leaves. So when I'm watering my tomatoes, I'm not watering them from above. I'm not spraying them with a garden hose or sprinkling them with a water can. I'm applying water directly at the ground at the base of the tomatoes. And of course, The fifth reason I like growing the Cherokee tomatoes is my family loves it. There's nothing in gardening that's quite as rewarding as having a bountiful harvest and sharing it with your friends and family. And when I take the Cherokee purple tomato to my friends and family, the smiles on their face, that they just grow to an enormous size. They all love the flavor of the Cherokee purple. If you wonder where you can find the Cherokee purple tomato seed, we do sell that on our website. Our website is below, and there is a link in the description of the magazine. I will be starting all of our tomato seeds here probably around the 15th of March. Right now, it's rather cold outside, and we're expected to have snow again. We are on the Cumberland Plateau, which is at a higher elevation. Our USDA hardiness zone is a 6B. And the 6B says that we typically will have our last frost around the middle of May, around the 15th of May. The last 2 years, we've been just a day off. One year it was May 13th, and next year it was May 16th. So there's a lot of truth to the 15th. So I'll start my tomato plants. I want to have 2 months to get them ready. And then I want to have them ready to go in the garden just shortly after May 15th. I normally wait a few days, but I don't want to take a chance of them getting frostbit. And again, we would appreciate you visiting our website. And if you'd like to try this tomato, please buy the seeds on our site. I think you'll find the seeds are extremely reasonable. That might not be the fanciest packaging you've seen, but I've been on the websites looking at all the tomatoes, and at $2.50 for a pack of seeds, that's well below what most people are asking for good heirloom seeds, and these are quality seeds. Again, we thank you and hope you'll come back and watch our vlogs again.